Tate said anything?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. You rolling?
Yep.
Okay, 10-3, matrices and systems of linear equations. There is nothing different today than what you did yesterday. It will look different. You're going to do a little bit more than what you did yesterday, so yeah, it's going to take up a lot more space. But what you are doing is not any different than what you did yesterday. The same skill, the same tool that you used yesterday is what you're doing today. So if yesterday was easy, then today should be the same. Okay? Alright, so some terms that we need to make sure we understand. The Gaussian elimination, that's what you did yesterday. The only reason I'm sharing this stuff with you is just so that you, when you get the instructions, you know what they're asking for, okay? Row echelon form. This is all stuff you did last year in Algebra 2. So row echelon form means that you have all your diagonals to be a positive 1. Reduced row echelon form, which we call Gauss-Jordan Elimination. That just means this, that your diagonals are all going to be 1s, and everything below and everything above will be 0s. You did this yesterday, that little L piece, right?
Triangle.
You're going to do this upside down L today.
Wait, we're
You
gonna
still have to do
backwards?
this. We do this first, and then we'll work on it. I'll show you. We're not doing anything different. How do you eliminate things? What's the process of eliminating things? What do you got to do?
Multiply.
Multiply a row, add it to
Add.
another row, and what happens? What do you have to get for them to eliminate?
They have to they equal out and they cancel each other out.
Cancel each other out, so they're opposite of each other.
Yeah.
What is opposite?
Negative and
The
positive.
coefficients?
Yeah, the coefficients.
Coefficients are opposite. Right. So I ought to be able to eliminate any position anywhere in the matrix I want by doing something to one row and adding it to another row. By getting it to have the opposite coefficient, right? So really all we're worried about are the coefficients. Because if the coefficient's 0, then the variable's gone, right? Yes?
Yes.
I'm just trying to get you guys to tell me what you've learned. If you're not telling me something, then you haven't really learned it. Okay. Let's begin. X plus y plus 6z equals 3. X plus y plus 3z equals 3. X plus 2y plus 4z equals 7. Stop talking. Start writing. The first thing I want you to do, let me back up. The real purpose of today, even though you're doing the exact same thing you did yesterday, the real purpose is for you to get this matrix to look a certain way, and we will then use that matrix to do something else in the next few lessons. So this may seem like a waste of time, except we're just using the same process to get you to do something later on. Because you're not doing anything really different than you did yesterday. What are all the coefficients? 1, 1, 6, and then the answer. 1, 1, 3, and the answer. 1, 2, 4, and 7. We'll put a little dotted line here. And we'll do this little matrix here. You guys remember this?
Matrices.
you're going to do the exact same thing to this that you did yesterday. So I want somebody to tell me what to do. How do we begin? What did you do yesterday?
Eliminate the x's.
Eliminate the x's. Start. Tell me what to do.
Times row 1 by negative 1.
Yeah. Negative
Add it
row
to
1
2.
and add it to row 2. Again, this is the only thing that changes. I want to talk about that for a second because nobody really asked about this. Why doesn't the first row change? Aren't we multiplying by negative 1? And I would say yes, it really does change. Okay? And you add the two together. Alright, now I'll bring this back up in a second. So negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Plus 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Plus 3 is 0. Alright? So why isn't this negative 1, negative 6, and negative 3? Because for the same reason that I can multiply by negative 1, can I divide by negative 1? And change it back to the way it was? So I'm not going to change it and then change it back. So I'm just going to leave it the way it was. So that should answer your question, why don't we change that and leave it the way it is? You could, it's just you're going to make more work for yourself later on because you have to make these positive ones, the diagonals. What's the next step?
Row
Eliminate
1.
x's in third row.
Eliminate the x in third row. So what do I need to do?
Negative 1.
Dividing by negative 1 doesn't make it 0.
Multiply.
Oh, multiply
Row
Yeah.
row 1 by negative 1
plus.
plus row 3. Okay, so that's 0. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4. So I did 2 steps in one right there. Again, you can do it in any order you want. The whole goal is to get your diagonals to be positive 1s and those positions to be 0s.
That's the answer?
No, we're not done. No, we're ways from being done. Okay. You did the first 2 steps. You eliminated the x variables.
Okay.
Okay? What's the third step?
Eliminate little y in the third row.
Okay, except in this problem, I see an advantage to switching equations.
Well, the middle one's already.
So let's switch row 2 with row 3.
Can you do that at any time after
Anytime you want.
Anytime you want.
Oops.
You can still figure it out if you didn't switch it, couldn't you?
Yeah, but that's silly. Now we have our little L taken care of. That was step 3. Step 4. What did you do yesterday?
You get z by itself.
Yesterday you said this is negative 3z equals 0. So what's z equal? 0. Divide by negative 3, 0. Divide by negative 3, 0. And then you would plug it back into the other equation, solve for y, then in the first equation, solve for x. Correct? Yay! That's great. But we're not doing that today. Step 4. Get all of your leading coefficients to be positive 1. Positive 1, how do I make negative 3 equal to positive 1? What do I multiply it by? 2 times negative 3 is positive 1. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 1.
Negative 1/3.
Negative 1/3. How about the reciprocal? I didn't say the negative reciprocal, I just said the reciprocal. Is that true? Yes, that's true. So, that's the next step. Negative 1/3 times row 3. And if you can do multiple steps in one, then go ahead and do that. Save some paper. You're not going to save any trees. Sorry. Dave the Planet, put some lines on it.
No chill.
That's going to be on YouTube, I should say. Get a bunch of green people yelling at me. You should be ashamed of yourself.
What are you teaching your kids?
Okay. Unfortunately, we are half done.
Oh, only half. Are you serious?
Oh
I
my.
thought
Wait a
last-
second, wait
I
a
thought
second.
last night's took a while.
To be fair, it took you 3 steps from here last night.
So?
Well, I should at least give me 3 steps to go from here.
Okay.
So it's an extra step. Just
Well, you
one
only
extra
said
step.
half.
Yeah, you did only say half.
Well, this is kind of in between, so.
Is there
Now,
supposed to be
give
a
me
dotted
3
line?
steps,
There's supposed to be a dotted line.
okay?
Get rid of the x values.
There's a dot, dotted
Get rid of
line.
the x values.
What you have to do at this point is work backwards and get that upside down L to be 0.
Multiply
Working
by
backwards, what do we do? We went this direction and eliminated. Now we are going to go this direction and eliminate. So what do you think we're going to eliminate first?
Multiply all by 0. Z.
Yeah, this Z.
-2.
How do I do this?
Multiply it by a positive
Multiply what?
the whole
Or row
equation.
2.
Row 2
Row 2 by -3?
by positive 3.
Positive 3?
Put it
Yeah.
to the top.
Oh, that would get rid of this one.
Yeah.
Well, don't we want to get rid of this one first?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. That's okay to do it that way. You could get rid of that first.
But I thought we were
I'm
going
lost.
up.
We are going up. What did we do here? We took this one and got rid of this one first, and then that one.
Okay.
Okay?
Row 3 by
So yeah, row 3 times
2.
Alright, so let's go 2 times row 3 plus row 2. And I'm going to write it backwards too. Alright, so the third row stays the same. Second row, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus -2 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. Everybody okay? Take a second look. Let's go back. -2 times 0.
Yeah.
Plus 0 is 0. -2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1.
Wait,
Negative.
are we taking the third,
I'm sorry, 2 times.
Essentially, you're
the
just doing it
third
backwards.
row
You're starting
times
by the
two.
second row to get rid of the 2 in the second row?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is what we're changing.
Trying to eliminate the z, the second row.
Yep.
With
So
the
2
row.
times 1 is 2, plus -2 is 0.
So essentially.
2 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. So that's where these numbers come from. Not any different than what you did yesterday. You're just going up instead of down.
Yeah.
You can pick any position and eliminate it.
Huh.
So now I want to eliminate the 6, and you guys already figured this out. You said to multiply by 3, positive 3, to the second row, and add it to the first. So I'm doing this all in one step again. 3 times row 2 plus row 3, row 1. So let's look at that. 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus the 1 is 4. 3 times -2 is -6, plus 6 is 0. And 3 times 4 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15. You don't have to do 2 steps at the same time. You can do 1 step at a time until you feel more comfortable with it. Almost there. Yeah. Did I do something wrong?
No,
Why wouldn't you
I
eliminate
was
the first row first? Because then wouldn't you get,
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
wouldn't
like,
you get something into the second, or into the second and third row? Or yeah, into the second and first row, in the Z spot?
Give me an example of what you would have done back here.
Like, I would start, like, if you start at the top instead, like, you
And
start.
start here.
Yeah, like,
That's fine.
you can do that, well, because I'm like, now it feels like I'm gonna wind up getting something back where I got the 2 zeros at. In the
You,
Z spot.
you can do it as long as you end up with your diagonals being +1. I don't care how you do it. But your diagonals better be +1 and there better be zeros everywhere else. And if you're not getting the right answer, then maybe you should do it the way I'm telling you to do it. But I said, there's more than one way to do this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay?
that's-
I'm trying to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
with what it is we're doing. So you're coming down and over, up and over, just to make it easy. You don't have to do it that way. Okay, so we gotta get rid of this. So -4 times row 2 plus row 1.
Yeah.
So 0 plus 1 is 1. -4 plus 4 is 0. 0 and 0. -16 and 15. -1. And all these stay the same then. What do you have? Z equals 0. Y equals 4. X equals -1.
I was looking at it wrong, so.
That's 1, 2, 3 steps. Thank you.
So you get all the rows and then you cancel them out to get the ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna do another one.
Okay.
You're going to do another one. You're gonna tell me what to do. We have not changed a single thing from yesterday.
The only thing we changed is we're not putting them back in the equation to find.
Right. That's technically what you're doing here, but you're eliminating
Yeah.
everything else. So here you have -2z, -3z equals 0, so z equals 0. Here you have y minus 2 times z equals 4, so y equals 4. And you have x plus y plus z, 6 times z equals 3. X plus 1 equals 3. Did I do this right? Oh, y equals 4, sorry. Minus the 4, x equals -1. So we didn't get the same answer. All right, yes.
Like, could we just, I don't know, like, when it comes time to, like, test time, do we have to do it this way, or can we just do it, like, any way we'd like? Because I personally, like, last night felt better, and, like,
How's this different than last time?
I don't know, like, just.
Oh, you mean stopping right here and solving it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a purpose for doing it this way. So on the test, you'll know why you're gonna do this. And
Okay.
there'll be a reason for doing it the rest of this way.
Alright, 'cause
And then there'll be on the test this where you're actually gonna show me this.
alright.
Okay, on the quiz tomorrow, you're just gonna I'm gonna give you something like this and I don't care.
Yeah, cause like, I don't know, like, my brain doesn't work in matrices, like, I think better when it's, like, the actual equations, that's why I was.
Yeah, you need to get away from that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, it's fine.
Remember, guys, you are in PreCalculus. You are in chapter 10. Breathe, congratulate yourself, and keep pushing. 42 days?
42 days.
42 days left?
No,
How many days left of school?
like over, I think it's 60, 64.
School days.
Oh, school days? I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Not that many, like maybe
42 school days, I
5
think.
more weeks.
5 more weeks. We just
Okay,
started.
your turn.
That would be 25 school weeks done.
Your turn, get ready. Put this in matrix form.
Yeah, maybe like 8 now.
Kyle,
Yeah.
what's the first thing you're gonna do?
Eliminate the x terms.
You're gonna put it in matrix form,
Oh, sorry.
and then eliminate the x. Please do so.
Form already.
Start with that. As you begin, and as I see you're doing it, I will do it on the board as well. What? Don't you?
Is that 26?
You weren't here. You weren't here for yesterday.
Negative, but negative 26.
Yeah, -26, sorry. You remember, we did section 1, didn't you? You didn't? You remember doing elimination with 2 equations and 2 variables? Well, how did you do that? You multiplied one equation to make
Yep.
it have an opposite coefficient, right?
Let's do.
You're doing the exact same thing here, except you do it in the positions I want you to do it in. You need to get rid of that -2x by doing something to the first row. So how would you get an opposite coefficient? No, multiply the top equation by 2, right? Okay, now what you're wanting to change is the only row that changes. Even though you're multiplying row 1 by 2, that's not gonna, you're not gonna write up here. Don't do this. I'll do what you're thinking. Like, if I multiply row 1 times 2, I'll get 2x minus 4y plus 10z equals 6. And you're right. And then you would add that to this and see what you get, right? So what would you get? 2x and 2x is 0. Negative 4y and 6 is 2y. 10 and negative 11 is negative 1. And 6 and 1 is 7, right? So you changed row 2. Okay, I don't want to leave this like this. I still want this to be a positive 1. So I'm going to multiply this by 1/2. So why not just leave it the way it is to start with? You're only changing the row you're wanting to change, okay? Because then you have to go back in and do another calculation to get it back to the way it was, okay? So I don't write that to begin with. I leave it the way it is, 1, a negative 2, a 5, and a 3. And then my new one is 0, 2, negative 1, and 7. That's the first one. You want to get rid of this one. We just did that. Now get rid of this one by using this row, okay? Same thing you did in section 1, you just have 3 variables we're working on. After you get rid of that one, work on this one so that you have a diagonal of numbers. So try to do that, and I'll do the next step. Yes?
Just drop reading this
Huh?
over. I'm really checking myself here. Right, and now it's the X in the
First, third row.
Yeah.
third row?
What are you doing?
Which
You want to get rid of this one.
I want to
So this one's done. You're going to do this one. Negative 3 times
Yeah.
that. That's fine. Good. And we just write down what it is we're doing. So when you look in your answer book, you're going to see stuff like this. Negative row 1, meaning negative 1 times row 1, plus the row 2. That's what I did there. Now I'm going to take negative row 1 plus row 3. Oh, excuse me. Negative 3 times this plus row 3. And write that down. You can do 2 steps at once. Okay? Save some time. Okay, so hopefully you got that far.
I've done 16.
Where you what? This one right here? Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15.
I copied that.
Okay. Yeah, lots of places to
Hey,
make some mistakes.
cool.
Kyle, what do we do next? Eliminate.
Y's in the third row.
Eliminate negative 10. So here you're not going to use row 1 anymore because if you add row 1 to either of these, then you're going to introduce x back in. So you're only going to use this row to eliminate that negative 10. Okay, so everybody do that. Let's see if you get that part right. Yes?
Can you come up with this again? Yeah, I did negative 3 times row 1 plus row 3.
That's right.
Okay, wait.
Oh, wait. What happened to your row 2? And where's row 2? What happened to your row 2? You only have 2 rows here.
Yeah, I could have put, but then, like, wait, what do I do with row 2? Do I just put it back?
Hold on a
like-
second.
I got that.
Are we?
The first, is this what you started with?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta do something with the negative 2 first. Drop this down, you've done that, that's row 3.
Okay.
You need to do something to get rid of the negative 2.
So,
So
okay, you start.
What's next?
start with that one, and then
Okay.
you could do this one, that's
Lock
fine,
with-
but this is still row 3, it still needs to be down here.
Okay, yeah.
Walk with
So
it.
now you can do something to row 2. It doesn't matter what order you do it in.
Okay.
It helps to do it in that order. That's right. What's that? Make these positive ones.
I see what I did wrong in the first one.
Switch. And then you're gonna go here, here. All right. Yep, that's correct. Okay. I think we're getting closer. So if I take 5 times row 2 and add it to row 3,
Yep.
so I get 1, -2, 5, 3, 0, 2, -1, 7,
0, 0.
zeros, yeah, 0,
-40.
-5, that's -40,
And 0.
and 35, and -35 is 0. Alright, now before we go up, these need to be 1s. So 1/2 of row 2,
1/2.
because this needs to be a 1.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take what to make this a 1? What am I multiplying by?
1 -140. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I'll write it up here so we can see it. 1, -2, 5, 3. 0, 1. And yes, z equals 0. But that's not why we're doing this. How does this matter? What's wrong?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
Okay, take your time. You get 15 minutes. Tomorrow. But I'm not worried about this. I want to know, can you do elimination? Can you do what you did yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, because this is definitely on the test, where you're going to use this for something.
We'll be on the quiz.
I feel like
I'm not going to ask you
I
this.
feel like a genius right now.
I mean, these are long, so.
You are a genius.
What? I'm like really confused right now.
What?
Section 1, Section 2 is really what the quiz is about.
This is I'm gonna take pride in this moment because normally I'm the one that's confused and you're the one that's rubbing it in my face.
What's the problem here?
The first step.
Right here?
Yeah.
How did I get 0?
How did you get any of that? Wait. Yeah, how did you get any of that? I don't know.
These are coefficients.
Okay. I
And
got that.
these.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay. So,
But where'd you get 0?
how do I add these two together? How do I eliminate x?
Okay, so then you have negative R over there.
This is row 1.
Okay.
These are rows.
Does that say negative or is that just R?
Negative row R. Negative, okay. -1 times row 1.
Okay, but let me like -3.
I meant to say -2, didn't I? Wait a minute. This is 2 times row 1. Yeah, okay, that's what we did.
Now I get it.
I don't know why I did -1. I'm sorry.
I just didn't get how you got it. I get it now.
What's funny is I actually had the right answer down here. So I wrote that one. Okay. That help?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go on from here?
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck.
It's awesome, I get it.
Okay, wait a minute. I need to make sure this is okay. You've got to get your diagonals to be positive 1s.
They are positive ones, you did.
No, I'm just saying, anybody out there clueless? Okay.
Just kidding.
What do I multiply this by to get it to be 1? What do I multiply 2 by to get 1? A half.
Oh.
But that means you have to multiply each of these by 1/2. That's where the -1/2 came in the 7/2. 7 times 1/2 is 7/2. How do I get rid of -40? What do I multiply -40 by to get positive 1? A -1/40. Okay, luckily there's nothing else in there I gotta multiply by -1/40. And yes, pre-calculus students, there will be fractions. Get over it. You are juniors and seniors.
Fractions are just awful creations.
Okay. Now let's go backwards. What am I going to do to row 3 to add to row 2 to make that 0? 1/2 times 1 is 1/2, plus that will be 0. So 1/2 times row 3 plus row 2. That's 0. That's going to be 0. Oops, I'm sorry. 1. Sorry. 0 plus 1 is 1. This times 1/2 is 1/2 plus -1/2 is 0. That's 0 plus 7/2. what do I do next? I want to eliminate that 5. Again, I'm just going to do this in all one step. Multiply row 3 by -5. And add to row 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus -2 is -2. -5 and 5 is 0. 0 and 3 is 3. Questions?
You go so fast now. My bad. Proceed.
What
No, I
gets me
get it,
about,
I get it. It's
about
just
this
fast.
is you all said section 1 was so easy,
Yo.
and this is not any different. A little bit different. Not much.
I think it's the fact
The
that we have
process
to
is
add
still
fractions into it.
What was the guy's name that came up with that? Gauss? Gauss-Jordan?
Gauss-Jordan.
So he sat down in his home and said, I want to make equations like this.
I wanna ruin everybody's life.
I want to earn to Andrew's life.
Abby, how do I eliminate the -2?
You got this, Abby.
I feel like I'm back in the
I feel like I'm back in the debate. You got
how
this,
do
Abby.
I eliminate the 2?
-2. How do I eliminate -2?
Oh.
Am I going to add the third row to it?
No.
Wait a minute, look. Can I multiply this by anything to make it so this is +2 and I add to -2 and it goes to 0? No. What about the row 2? What can I do? There you go. So 2 times row 2 plus row 1. So the bottom is still 0, 0, 1, 0. The second row is still 0, 1, 0, 7/2. I'm changing the first row. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1, right, Abby?
Yeah.
2 times 1 is 2, plus -2 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 0 is 0. What is 2, Abby, times 7/2? No. Abby is going to show us how smart she is.
You got this, Abby.
Yeah.
Hey.
Andrew.
Yeah. 2 times 7/2 plus 3. So 7 plus 3 is 10.
I feel like it.
Great.
There's your answer.
Dude, I did.
Good job, Abby.
Is that it?
And over.
There's more than 5 problems. I'm not doing it.
I actually didn't do it easy in my head.
Those are easy ones.
Wait, are they your easy or our easy? Like our easy is like 2 plus 2.
Those better be 2 by 2.
Shall I look in the book and
goes
see if
the
there's
rest of my
anything
notebook.
else
You're good.
I'm missing?
You're good.
I'm sure there is, but let's not go.
Oh!
Oh,
Corey!
I said let's not go there.